You know what, guys? I've been thinking. I want to start calling people Big Dog. I don't think I'm cool enough to call people that, but I'm gonna roll into this intro. I'm gonna call you guys Big Dog. Just act like it's normal. Act like it's a normal thing because I want to, like, you know, I want that to be my new signature catchphrase. So let me jump right into this. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to IndieQuest, a celebration of the indie and obscure. My name's Josh. I'm one of your co-hosts today, joined by Steve. How's it going, Big Dog?
Nah, it's going pretty good, little dog. You know, we're just hanging out, chilling, doing a nice, relaxing Sunday indie game chat with both tea and water on deck. So I'm prepared for this to be a long one. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. I'm also joined by one of my awesome other co-hosts, the captain himself, Captain Drachma. How's it going, Big Dog? It's not working. I tried. How's it going?
Have you guys ever seen the? I think it's like the Tiger Woods meme where he goes in for a hug with somebody, and the meme is like when you don't remember the guy's name, and you're like, "What's up, Big Dog?"
Yeah. Yep.
That's all that reminds me of. So, but I'm doing well. The snow has come and gone, then came again, then went again, all in one day. So that's how it's going here.
Nice. Oh, well, we have a special guest today. Hasn't been on the show since episode 79, so it's been a little while. We got Potomax. How's it going, man?
I'm doing fine. I'm not a big dog, looks like it, but I'm doing good otherwise.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I dropped the bit so fast, you know.
Yeah,
what's up, Big Dog? What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
Let's go. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to be back. Last time I was on was my first time like doing a podcast in English, so I was a bit nervous. I think it showed a little bit, but I'm more confident now. Since I have my podcast I've been having that podcast for like 18 months, so yeah, I know my way around the mic now.
Yeah. Speaking of, go ahead.
What podcast is that, Poto?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
It's the Trash Station podcast. I do it with my good friend Scotch and Hobbies, your co-host for the Monthly Mishap. We just talk about whatever games we play, and we somehow just play the same kind of trash, like old trash, random anime games, some junk on itch.io. So we know our way around a bad game, but we still enjoy it. I think a few of you also do, especially Blink. I think Blink would be a perfect Trash Station co-host too. But yeah, that's what we do. We talk about hobbies and whatever we watch on YouTube. We like to shout out everybody we love watching on the internet.
Yeah, it's a great show if you basically want to listen to people talk about a carve out of games that is everything IndieQuest doesn't cover. Like, we only bring indies that we love, and if you're like, okay, what if it's everything else? All right, it's old junky retro games, it's FMV games, it's indies that they don't love, you know, that's the place to go, is Trash Station.
Absolutely. I spent like a month only playing freaking like dog games that you don't really play. So that's the kind that's the kind of trail we fall into somehow.
Yeah, I was listening and I was like, is he talking about the ninth entry into this series? Like, you talked about the entire series. I was just like, yeah, it just kept going in a good way.
They're all made by one guy. That's what I found. It's one guy making dog games. He made the first one when he was 14 and basically never stopped.
Anytime I see a run of those types of beats come through on Polykill, because it's all up on the corkboard. There's the red string connecting all these podcasts and people. I see one of those runs of beats come through, and I think to myself, something's happening over on Trash Station. They're getting up to something. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, the reason you're here is you put a game on. You put an indie game out. So I mean, it was pretty.
The only reason. Oh, damn.
I mean, you're. I
have to make games to be invited. Wow.
Why don't you tell everybody what your game's all about and what the idea was behind it, and what's your game?
Yeah, like 5-6 weeks ago, I released The Joy of Putting on Steam for free. Basically, I started remaking and fixing an old Flash mini golf game that existed on a website here in Quebec that doesn't exist anywhere anymore. I managed to track down like one version that was still archived on the Internet Archive, and I managed to fix the game. It was just missing some like graphics and stuff, so I fixed that. But here in Quebec, there's the Minipot brand that makes actually like competition holes that are all meant to be aced, just like Pot here there in the US. And I was like, yeah, it's a bit sad that it's not the real holes. I cannot play the real freaking holes that I play every summer in a video game. So I was like, yeah, let's remake the game and add those holes in there. So it basically just started like that. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of fun. Since I've done it, I might as well just put it somewhere. And I was like, yeah, why not Steam? Like everybody has Steam. Everybody loves to find some random games on there. So I was like, let's put it on Steam. And my like mission statement was just to make a chill mini golf game, and it's a bit like of a puzzle game. The goal of the game is to master the physics, and for every hole to find the perfect setup to make the birdies and to somehow maybe make the perfect game. So that was the genesis behind the game, and I thought like you weirdos would have played it because you're my friends, and would have like 100 people on the leaderboards, but somehow I won't say it blew up. Like it's not a massive success, but I still got over 1,000 installs. There's almost like 650 people on the leaderboard. So a few people played the game. A couple, like many people have over a couple hours in the game, and you can just like play all the courses in like half an hour or something. So I think I struck a chord, because most mini golf game I find online don't have this like birdie aspect, this ace, like learning the courses. There's like par fives and you just putt randomly and you just try to reach the goal. I think I've managed to make something that's just unique enough, and with the leaderboards and the fact that it's free, it's just all the right chords at the same time to make people enjoy the game.
I mean the thing that I was going to play your game regardless, but free. That's like that's a good asking price.
Yeah.
I wanted to take the opportunity today to put the game on the quest log while you're here with us. We're going to put it on. I'm going to put it on a main quest. I think that my co-host would agree. So
yes, I do agree.
I mean, when he's in the room, you got to say main quest, right? You're morally obligated to.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I didn't think people would actually like play it as much as they did, so it's really an honor to be on the main quest. Like I think I worked hard enough, and the pedigree is there to justify it.
I've spent I think 3-4 hours in it, because it's been fun. We've had in the Discord different score competitions, like week by week, going course by course. And like you said, because the game is designed very much for people to try to get hole-in-ones to ace each hole, every single time you finish a run, you're like, you see your mistakes so plainly and so immediately. And I'm kind of a stubborn player, because not to get like deep into joy of putting meta, but there's a lot of people out there who shall remain nameless that are using like translucent rulers to line up their shots, and like you can get strategic with like marking like with a post-it note like the spot on your monitor where you need to drag the cursor to get the perfect angle. No, I fire from the heart, okay? My shots come out true and from the soul, and so it takes me a little longer to lock down a good score, but it's been fun to work my way through it.
Yeah, I think that guy was just trying to get the top spot on the leaderboards,
Yeah. The 1, 2, or 3 spot for sure.
Yeah, somewhere. I love
my claim to fame is I do have the best score on the shortest course. So I got the perfect score on the moon course.
Yes,
first in the world. So
I have a little fun fact on there. Because my high score on the moon course wasn't so good, I was like, I need to at least have a good score so people try to beat me. And I was perfect. Like the first 8 holes, I was like, yeah, I cannot be the one to have the perfect score on my freaking game. So I need to give some leeway for people to do it. So I missed the last hole on purpose, so I could give you, or well, anyone who would want the perfect game first, their shot. But yeah,
So he says. So he claims now, and there's no way to verify.
true. You have to take my word for it. I think Seth has been trying to say something for the past 5 minutes.
I know. Like, poor guy. We got a Discord delay going on, people. You'll have to work with us.
I love that you call it a puzzle game, Potomax, because so much of what I've done, because yes, it is a mini golf game, but for example, I'll call out a random hole, the pool hole, where you have to do some weird, like at first you're like, oh, can I go like down and back and do something like that? But realistically, the way I found out that you kind of have to do it is almost like you're shooting pool, right? Like you have to bank, and then get it to come back into the hole. Like it's just finding the solution to all these holes is like a game in itself, and that's really fun for me. So,
well, yeah, thank you. That's the whole appeal of mini golf for me. It's just putting is fun in itself, but having like that you can master each hole, and that's like a goal to work toward.
Yes.
I'm curious how long you've been into mini golf, because I actually am a pretty big mini golf fan. I was very excited when we were making the game. It doesn't come up a lot on the podcast, and I haven't played as much since my son was born, but me and my wife and some friends like pretty regularly play and like maintain like a database of every course we've ever played on and all of our best scores and like our averages for each course.
Nice.
And we've tracked like 20 something courses on the database across years and years and years. So it's something I actually really enjoy. So when you became obsessed with it and started making YouTube videos about it and video games about it, I was like, is he my soulmate? What's going on?
There.
Those
are all my cards from all the mini golf I did for the video last year, and those are my scorecards for the mini golf I did in Japan. So I've started a little database of my own of tracking of my scores, and I always loved mini golf. Like I remember, I don't know if it was like during COVID, but around that time, I was looking for an activity to do like weekly, and I thought about like, oh, are there any like mini golf leagues or anything like that I could do? And I couldn't find any at that point. So because mini golf is an activity that I really enjoyed, and I was always thinking in the back of my head, I'm not playing enough mini golf. I should go more regularly because I really enjoy that. And so when I decided to do the video last year where I visited every mini golf in my city in a single day, then I met the guy who runs the league. So now I knew, oh, there's actually a league. I can go there like every week. And I just became more hooked than I ever was, because it always has been an activity that I enjoyed, but I finally like have a way to, like, a reason to go there every week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think this is our first mini golf game. I'm looking as I talk. Mini golf game on the quest log. So this is a monumental day.
Woo!
This is
breaking
important
new
stuff.
records. Yeah.
I'm trash at them. That's why. I mean, if anyone was going to bring one, it would be me, and I'm just terrible. I'm terrible at your game, but I mean, it's still fun. You know, I have a good time with it.
Yeah. So since the game released, I've done a couple of updates. The first one, because when I released the game, there were only 3 courses, like the mini and the maxi, that are based on the real mini golf course in Quebec. And since then, I've talked with the owners of the brand, because I play with them like during the summer. So they just acquired the brand, not to get too deep into mini golf lore, but they acquired the brand last summer from the guy who was really old, who was running it since the 2000s. And so I talked to them, and they gave me the approval to actually have those holes in the game. That was one of the reasons why I made the game free, because I'm technically like infringing on copyright by doing those holes in my game. And the last course, the Sporty, is based on the Flash game that I remade. I just like ported the holes in the game. And after that, I did an update to add a practice mode because people need to practice those freaking holes. Some of those are really hard. A random mode just to spice things up, and a daily mode that I've been really enjoying, just being able to see the high scores with everybody playing the same holes every day has been pretty fun. And now I've added 2 new courses. So one, the Mooney, which has 9 holes, which is based on a free mini golf course that appeared in my video in the university where I live. And the last one, the Nature, a course that I just made up myself. It's loosely inspired by an arcade at Can Wonderland that I played, like a the golf mechanical arcade that you have 9 holes and you have to putt them one after the other with the little putting guy. So that was like the inspiration, like having a big course and different holes on the same course and doing them one after the other, but on the same kind of course. And what I found is that I made it really freaking hard. Like the scores are absolutely terrible. It's the first one that I designed myself, and I think I'm a bit of a sadistic game dev.
Yes, most of my scores on most of the full courses are like, high 20s, maybe low 30s if I haven't practiced a lot, and that one it's like the 70s. It's so much harder than the other ones.
Well, it's because that every mistake that you do, since the course is so large, every mistake that you do will bring you in a very bad spot, and you can easily fall into water, get out of bounds. So if you don't get the birdie, like if you shoot for the birdie and don't get it, you can really put yourself into a bad spot. But the course is fairly easy if you go for like 2 putts. Like if you just want to get the 2 putts, I think it's fairly easy. You can easily just shoot a bit less hard and get close to the hole and do it that way. But what's the fun in that, right?
Yeah. No, go for glory. You got to go for glory.
Yeah. So right now I've added on my side multiplayer. So it's local multiplayer, but I think what is it called? Like the Steam thing where you can play games.
I know what you're talking about.
It's not family sharing. I know exactly what you're saying. Like you can play co-op with somebody over the internet. Basically.
If you own the game, you can basically like stream it and have people join on your computer. Yeah. So I'm fairly sure like the game. I mean, you just have to aim and putt. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Yeah. So I think it would be fairly easy to play online. I will test it before releasing it. But right now it's local multiplayer. You can play all the courses and you have like local high scores for you and your friends. And I'm working on a couple more courses, mostly 9-hole courses. Sorry. One will be is inspired by a guy, Hugo, that has been playing my game like nonstop. He like sent me a couple of ideas for holes, so I'm gonna make his 9-hole based on the things he sent me. The course I played in Japan that I want to bring into the game, and I'd like to make a course based on the numbers, a bit like in Mario Golf 64, where you can play numbers. Yes. So I would like to do like the number 1 through 9 as a course too, and that should probably be like the last free update for now, because as much as I like the game, I'm getting a bit burnt out of playing on mini golf, working on the mini golf game. I'm having like other ideas and other games I would like to bring into the world. So this is probably like be the last of the free updates, and I see where I go from there.
I mean, it's hard to argue when you've already released like twice as many courses, or will by the end have released like 3 times as many courses in multiplayer mode and a bunch of other modes since the game came out. I mean, it's free. What really can people ask for it? Right. So
yeah, basically.
Yeah, you almost need a donation button or something. Like, let me give you $5, like that type of thing.
Yeah, I probably should set something up like that. I think that before the end of the year, I will probably add a paid update. Like I've had a couple ideas, maybe a small like roguelite update where maybe the ball size can change, or like the
that'd
different
be sick.
or the whole position can change on the various courses. So every time you play a hole, you get different buffs and debuffs, and just do a little match trying to get as far as you can. And the idea I had was to have like a life system. So you have 3 lives. If you put par, you don't lose a life. If you put over par, you lose a life. And if you birdie, like after 3 birdies, you gain a life back, and you just try to putt as long as you can with all the holes in the game. So that a kind of a little adventure mode that I would maybe add, and maybe a level editor. I feel like if I could make those 2, that will be really worth like a $5 or something to like complete the game. But we'll see.
Awesome.
Max, it's probably been done. I don't know this for a fact, but you have a very good idea for mini golf roguelite. That sounds sick.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you could make that a full game. That would be fun, man. So you're onto something there.
Yeah, I think it would be really fun, and having like that like audience already playing the free version, I think that could be like a way to get more people into the game. The game's already like positive on Steam and everything. So if I add this this paid update and people actually like it, I get already like people notified when I release that. So could be a good strategy. I don't know.
Yeah. Awesome.
So my question, 2 questions. So this is your first time publishing on Steam. How smooth was that? I'm always curious about that side of it. And then the follow-up question is, is there anything you can tease by what your next games may or may not be?
Yes, I can answer those 2 questions. Publishing on Steam was relatively smooth. The Steam interface is like stuck in 2001. It's pretty abysmal having to work with that. But there's an indie dev, Mrs. who made like a tutorial on how to actually upload the builds of your game on Steam with like a project that you basically it says put your game there, do that, and run those commands, and it will work every time. So that has simplified the workload a lot. But man, making the Steam page is like half the battle, because at first you have to sign up for Steam, and you have to set up like a company. And I had already done that a while back when I did my puzzle game, 7 Segments Journey, because I was thinking of publishing it on Steam. That hasn't panned out yet. But so I had done that step, which can take like a week or so. And once you have that, like you pay the fee to have your page, but then you have to make a trailer, you have to make the description for your page, you have to make it look good so people will actually click on it, you have to make all the freaking different thumbnails, because you have to make the thumbnail for the shop, for the big picture mode, for this and for that, and you have to add screenshots, descriptions. It's just making the Steam page is like a job in itself. It takes a lot of time, and you've seen it. I've done I've called the game The Joy of Putting, inspired by The Joy of Painting by Bob Ross. So I just went full on like YouTube mode. Like I know how to make YouTube videos. So I was like, yes, my trailer is gonna be how do I make mini golf exciting in a trailer? Like you're just playing fucking mini golf. So I decided to go with like a Bob Ross parody where I'm super chill and I'm explaining why the game is cool. And I think that, and all like the thumbnails as have my face on there. So if you go into your Steam library, I really like pops out like a sour thumb. So I think I've played the game well enough, and I will probably like use the same approach of having my face out there. This will become like my brand on Steam. If I release anything else, my face will be like the thumbnail and everything. I think it will mark my game dev and that identity.
Nice.
Love that.
And for stuff that I might be working on, there's an indie game that I really like. Last time I was on there, I said it was like my favorite indie game of all time, Flippin' Dead. and it's not available like anywhere. You have to go on Newgrounds and play it like with emulation because of Flash. And I will try to make a pitch at the studio from Montreal to actually port the game to Steam. That would be like one of my goals this year, if I could make that happen, because I really like that game and it's kind of Halloween coded. So if I could release it for Halloween, that would be like really perfect. This gives me like 6 months of to work on the game. I think it's feasible. So once I'm done with the Joy of Putting in like 2 weeks, I will start working on that. And my next original game that I would like to make would be a 3D platformer. I would like to make a 3D bowling platformer. So I'm sports coded. So the idea would be to have like small levels, a bit like, I don't know, Toad Treasure Tracker, but you're playing as a bowling ball. And you have to find the 10 pins scattered into the level. And I would like to have some, like, maybe some drifting mechanic where you're rolling with the ball, trying to make curves and stuff, going up ramps. And if you fall, and every world, like I would like to make 2 or 3 worlds, and every world would be 12 levels long, because it would be like a real bowling game. So every level would be a frame, and it would be like an ice core chaser, a bit like the Joy of Putting. So you're trying to make strikes on every level, where you, in the time imparted, you have to find the 10 pins, knock them down, and that would give you a strike. If you fall off the course, then you have another chance to make the spare. And then you finish all the course, and then you have your bowling score, and you try to work for the perfect game. That's my next game idea, would be like the bowling platformer.
That's amazing.
I've never been more in.
It sounds a little marble madnessy too.
Yeah, or monkey ball-y almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. It's taking like that monkey ball energy, but mixing bowling in there somehow.
Yes, that's
actually
awesome.
It's inspired by a Flash game from Quebec, once again, that I found a couple years ago that nobody knows about, called Roll Taboo. So Roll Your Ball, which is exactly like that, but it's like top down, and it's a bit janky, and it's in Flash. But I would like to turn that into a 3D platformer with like exciting movement, with that ball having a bit of that, maybe, you know, the wheel upgrade transformation in Kirby, where you go super fast and you can turn. So a bit of that energy into the ball, and yeah, that would be my big game. So hopefully I get there.
I cannot wait.
Well, I think that'll be it for the little interview here, but go check out the Joy of Putting. You want to plug it where people can find everything, and your itch page and all that stuff before we do some quest log picks today?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Joy of Putting is the Joy of Putting on Steam. Just have to search that. If you play the game, please leave a review. That really helps. Right now it's positive, but in 8 reviews, I would be extremely positive. So hopefully, I have one negative review. The guy played for like 10 minutes, didn't like the physics, and decided like it was worth getting a negative review on a free game somehow. Like he lost 10 minutes of his life. What the heck? And you can see all of my other games on potomax.itch.io. I have like a game inspired by Donkey Kong Jr. on the Game & Watch called Wingless Workload that I really like, and a puzzle game also that's pretty interesting called Seven Segments Journey. Blink played it before. It's a mix between Sokoban and 2048. It's pretty difficult. It's like 16 levels, but it's pretty fun. I'm pretty proud of that game, and I wish to work more on it at some point in the future too.
Seven Segments Journey is great. People should check it out. It is hard. It gets... You can tell it's made by someone smarter than me, for sure. You get to the last couple levels, and I'm like, good God.
Yeah, and most of them I have to, like, I plan them out, and then I like, yeah, I have to tone them down. That doesn't work. It's too much. As a game dev, it's like, you know, all the mechanics and everything, so it's often difficult to just keep it simpler. Like you play Super Mario World. Like the first hour of the game is easy peasy, but
Yeah.
that's what makes it fun at the same time. So you really have to keep games simpler.
We're simple people that are playing the game, okay?
Yes.
It's just rubbing a couple of brain cells together to try to get a little electricity. You gotta go easy on us.
Absolutely.
I do want to shout you out for this, and also just all solo devs, Max, because it is like that is one of the biggest things I think that makes it so hard to develop and just create a game by yourself. Is you're the only one that really tests your own game. So it's hard to find that extra person. Like you have even 10 people test it. 2 of those people are going to tell you, well, that doesn't really, doesn't really make sense or whatever, right? So for all the people, yourself included, that create these games and test them themselves and end up putting out a great experience, like that's something to be kind of lauded, right? Like it's pretty cool that you're able to do that. So,
well, yeah, thank you. I mean, I take my evenings, my weekends to work on stuff that I enjoy. So I'm just happy people have been playing it and enjoying it.
Heck yeah.
All right.
So if anybody is playing it, let us know. Send us an email. Say that, or write a review on his game and say that we sent you. Because I'd love to get you that extra kudos from Steam, because I know that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. What we'll do here is we'll put in some Joy Putting music, and then we'll get into the quest log picks today. Right now, and then I hear you just sighing the whole time in the back every time I mess up.
That little flute.
Yep.
Some people never hear the flute.
All right. Well, it's time for the quest log. Max is going to hang out and bring a pick to the quest log, because why not?
Absolutely.
This is your second time. Might as well, right? Anyway. What is the quest log? It's an ever-growing list of indie games that we think everyone should play. You can find it. I remember this time, Steve. It's IndieQuestPod.com. You can see the big list, the Google Doc that's growing and growing and growing and never stopping. There's 2 sections to it. The main quest, which is an easy recommendation to anybody, and incredible experience. Your mom, your sister, your pet iguana are going to have a good time with it. It's a certified banger. You need to play that game like right now. Just like, don't turn off the podcast, let it run in the background, but download these games and play them as soon as possible. The side quest is still a recommendation, but maybe there's a caveat or 2. Maybe it's that 8 out of 10, but it's perfect for your backlog. Throw it on there. It's going to be a great time. Check it out. So who wants to go first today? Actually, you know what? I'll go first today. I'll just go right into it.
Wow.
Oh, it's because he wants to steal Seth's pick.
I was literally going to say I'm going to go first because I'm not going to let you boys take my pick. But Josh, he forged ahead, and I'm not willing to step in front of him. So.
He's bringing Gungeon 2. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm bringing Dunkadillo 2. No, just kidding.
It's not out yet.
Yeah, I know. I assure you guys probably haven't heard of this game, and it's a nice little game. So it's called Hypogea. You heard of this game?
Oh,
I have heard of this game, but I don't know a dang thing about
it. Okay,
it.
and I'm going to spell it because it's a weird spelling. It's Hypogea. We actually have an email about that too. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But Hypogea just basically means an underground area. Like that's what it translates to. It's like basically imagine like a brutalist, like, big buildings, big gutters, lots of damp areas, dark, moody, and that's the tone of this game. So let's start with the presentation on this one. It's gonna look, when you pull up what's the name of the game? The name is Hypogea. Max, I saw your chat there. I should
Yeah. Sorry,
No, you're good.
My daughter good night, so I
No,
missed
you're
it.
good. You're good.
I missed the game.
Rob
No,
said
no,
the
you-
joy of putting. That's so funny.
Yeah, okay, I'll jump into it. It's the game, the graphic style. What I like to describe this one is it's a nice PS2 game. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
It looks like you are going through someone's collection and you're like, what is this game? Like an old PS2 game. Pull it out, throw it in your PS2. That's the vibes you get through the entirety of the playthrough on this one. It's a 3D platformer. You play this little like robot guy who has this kind of like hook that in the whole mechanic of the game is you use this hook in a bunch of different and unique ways. And this game's really short too. It's a really nice, easy playthrough. It's about 2 to 4 hours depending on your skill level. It looks cool. It plays well. I know you guys are watching some trailers. Any comments so far?
It looks like you basically platform around in like Half-Life environments. Is the energy that I get.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like honestly, you saying that, like if someone said this was like a Half-Life 2 source mod, I'd be like, yeah. It has that energy quite a bit. It looks like you're like deep in like city. What is it? Is it City 17? The Half-Life city? I'm forgetting. Yeah. You're in like some back alley gutter, like deep down underneath something from like Aperture or from I can't think of anything from Half-Life, even though I love that series right now. But all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. You play it. Go ahead.
It does a great job of giving you like the murky shades like you were talking about that comes with that generation. It reminds me of like PSP or something like that too. But I've never seen so many shades of brown still look so good. It's so it's all like rusty and like dingy feeling, but it still looks really cool. So I like the way this.
Yeah. So the basic like concept of the game is you're this robot and you have this other robot that's, I guess he's injured or something, or they're injured, and you're trying to help him and yourself get out from underneath like this big facility. You don't really know what's going on. There's very little story in this, but the thrust of it is I'm trying to get to the top of this thing and get out. You start off by doing basic platforming things. You're just jumping between like girders and like catwalks and things like that, and like grabbing on with your hook. Eventually you do get some other tech in the game. I guess you get this little like flow, like little, I guess it's a bird or some type of butterfly or something. It's just this glowy thing that kind of surrounds you that can highlight invisible platforms, so you have the whole thing where you're like push the button, the thing will highlight an invisible platform, you jump on it, you do a bunch of like timed puzzles where you flip a switch, something opens, you got a platform over there before that door closes, things like that. You also you have some collectibles. There's like these like war propaganda films that you can find, so I guess they're trying to build a universe of like this like automated society or something that went to war. It's not kind of hard to really figure out what the story is, but I thought they were kind of fun. You kind of get cutaways to these little like 1930 era looking like be real from like the war era from these robots, and it's like all grainy and like sepia toned and stuff, So it's a game full of cool little dudes. You see a lot of little fun robots hanging out. You got this like big almost GLaDOS looking character that has like these pincers that will open up areas for you. It's just a really cute little game. It's just cozy, something to throw on for 3 or 4 hours and just have a good time with. Not very challenging, I'll say. There's a couple of moments you might try an area 2 or 3 times, but I think it's just one of those ones where somebody wanted to make something simple, something accessible, and have a really cool style. I'd love to see this idea and look just expanded upon to make like a full big 10 to 12 hour game. But for what it is, it's really, really nice.
Is there any combat at all, or is it entirely like platforming? And then, because there is in like the trailer, there's like a big swooping jellyfish robot, something or other.
Yeah.
Is that just like a run and hide situation, or do you ever fight stuff?
It's more like a platformer where it's like Crash Bandicoot. There's something coming at you, you got to run away from it type of vibe more than I have to slash people with this hook. I mean, this hook feels good. Like I'll say the actual like gameplay itself feels good to do. It's one of those where once you get the rhythm of it, you just start feeling like, man, I'm a god. You know, like I'm so good at this. You know, so what every good 3D platformer should do, this does quite well. And I was trying to remember what the music sounded like because I don't think it has very much music. I was going to be like, oh yeah, the music's like this, and I was like, I think it's kind of just like ambient stuff. Yeah, it's just called ambient. Yeah.
If there's no music, the real question for a game like this, how's the dripping water sound effects? Because I know that this thing is just full of dripping water.
Yeah, lots of like rushing like water down below, all the dripping water, like when you get your hook into something, it like echoes just the right way. It sounds so good. Like the sound design is really well done too. This game is just I left it. This is one of those ones you play, and then like when someone brings it up, like 4 or 5 years later, it's like, oh yeah, that was nice. You know, it's just nice to be in that world for a little bit. You know, and it's creepy, but not super creepy. There's cute characters, and just stabbing that hook into like grates and like hooking onto things like last minute as you're trying to leap across caverns, and like there's like the little crank rail thing that you can use. There's like areas of that you crank with your robot buddy, go across new areas. So mostly I think there's 5 total zones in this, and most of the time you're just finding like 3 or 4 keys or 3 or 4 levers, and that's it. It's like, okay, here's 3 lights, make the 3 lights light up, and then you can kind of see in the distance like, okay, it's glowing over there, so that's where I gotta go. How do I get over there? And then you just basically solve the environmental puzzle by platforming across, activate the 3 lights, opens up one part of the door to get to this big elevator in the middle, and get to the top of this big structure. And then there's like a cutscene at the end to kind of wrap everything up. And I just thought it was a really well done game. I don't know. It's cool. It's one I wanted to put on people's radar because I never heard many people talk about it. I've seen it in some like indie game, like, oh, this game's coming out, but I never heard anybody's opinion on it. It's a cheap little game, 3 hours, 4 hours. You're going to have a good time. Cozy little side quest. I'll just throw it on there right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Is there ever, it doesn't show this way in the screenshots, Josh, but is there ever anything like on screen at all? Or is it just like no life bar or anything like that, right? It's just clean.
There's nothing on screen. I mean, it's a video game. You're playing. No,
I mean UI type stuff.
I'm messing with you. No,
just a black screen.
No, it's there's no UI. It's all just I think they just want you to be immersed, and the controls and things are simple enough. If the only way to really quote unquote die in this thing is just to fall off into some water, and then it'll just reset you to the area you are in. The checkpoints are pretty forgiving, so pretty self-explanatory little game, but it's one that I played early in the year, just a month and a half ago or something. It's been in the back of my mind. I was like, that was a stinking good time. That's just one of those little games that I like to bring here once in a while that I think people would like. So yeah, check it out. It's Hypogea.
Did you play it on directly with your controller? I don't know. Do you have a Steam Deck? Where did you play the game?
Oh yeah, I played it on. It's best with controller. I just played it on my Steam Deck, but I mean, I could play it on the computer. It's only on PC currently, so yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, nice and easy one. I figured we have a pack episode, so I'll bring in a little guy today. Yeah.
My favorite thing for the show to have is a game that I've literally never heard of and wishlist in real time as we talk about it. That's basically the goal of the entire show. So you did a good job there.
Yeah, honestly, Steve, this is like one of those like you don't really know what to stream. This is like cheap. Just throw it on, nice, easy, get through it in one stream type of game. You know,
it's like. Got a little bit of that eco energy.
Yep.
You hit me with the 2 to 4 hours. I'm cracking my knuckles under the table. Okay, we got this one queued up.
Okay.
So thank you for that.
This game was made by Charlie Wagner. He's a French game dev. It's his first Steam release, but he has a bunch of games on itch.io. So,
were you familiar with them before, Or
No. I just
okay.
googled it and found that it looks pretty interesting. They have another game they released. So the game you brought was released in 2025, and they released a game. Damn, there's not the date is not there, but they released another game called Memory World with that same kind of aesthetic. So if you want a bit more of that, go check their itch.io page. I think they have a pretty interesting catalog of games.
They definitely have a
We
look.
should be better about that.
Yeah.
About linking to people's itch pages, because a lot of times I click on their name in Steam and I'm like, oh, it's their first game. That's pretty cool. But I'm sure, and like as in this case and many others, that if you go look at itch, they probably have many other small projects that you can go mess around with.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do one of the other co-hosts, and then Max can bring his game. I think that sounds good. So which of you two want to bring a game today? Next.
Seth, I don't want to step on your toes. You seemed eager to go, so I'll let you decide. You can go now, or you can punt to me. No hard feelings.
I'll go now. I'll go now. I don't think that you played this game, but I have like PTSD from the last episode. I don't want anybody walking on my picks.
That's Linelith 2.
Yeah, that would be so sick. I wish I was bringing Linelith 2.
Yeah, me too. Oh, by the way, I did play Linelith, guys. You guys were right. It was awesome. It was as good as you guys were selling it as. So that's still a huge recommendation from all of us, I'd say.
It is so good. Unlike Linelith, I brought a game that is not at all... Well, Linelith isn't straightforward, but you do draw lines, so I guess it's straightforward in that way. The game that I'm bringing today is going to be a doozy for me. I'm telling you guys right now, it is going to be a doozy to try to step around things, to try to explain in a proper, coherent way, but I'm going to do my best. And it's actually one that came out this year and is quite well reviewed already. So you guys may have heard of it. It is called Berry.
Truly never heard of this video game at all.
So for everybody at home, Berry can be spelled many different ways. Well, not many, maybe like 3. But it is berry as in like strawberry, and then berry as in burying in the ground, and then again berry as in like blueberry. That is the game that I played. So you have seen it, Josh?
No, I have not. Like you
No.
You got me, man. I know.
Really?
I keep my nose to the pave. What is it? Nose to the grindstone. What is it? I keep my ear to the ground. I do. I pay attention to the indie scene, but they're still
big dog.
yeah, big dog. Let's go. No, but no, I haven't heard of this one at all. It looks interesting, I'll say.
It's something. Max, I assume you haven't seen it either. No trash station looking at this one. Okay.
No, it has like over 2,000 reviews, so it's way too popular for me.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Okay. All right. So, what is Berry? It is a lot of things, and it is also a lot of, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, as I said earlier. It released January 29th, 2026. The dev is Get Color Games, and color is in parentheses. And it is only on PC right now, as far as I know. The genre, I literally put I have no clue, but I'm going to do my best. It is, I actually thought of games that I could just mix all together, and it kind of gets us there. It is a mixture of Katamari Damacy, Amanda the Adventurer, Groon, and a farming sim. Like that. That's
Nice.
Yeah. That tracks to the screenshots weirdly. I looked at it and immediately I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense as a Seth game. It's Amanda the Adventurer coded, and then you start clicking through screenshots and you see garden gnomes, and I'm like, what the heck is that? This guy, my man has a type. Okay, he's into a specific couple of things. No judgment.
I was looking at it. It has like the hole in the ground, like Donut County or vibes too. Occasionally, at least in a couple of these screenshots.
A game about digging a hole or whatever that came out a year or two ago. Yeah, Yes, the whole is quite important too, and we'll get to that as we go. All right, as much as I can, I suppose, because there are things that are easily spoilable, and I don't want to spoil them. So you guys are looking at screenshots. It is a game kind of similar to Amanda the Adventurer, like Steve said, where it is kind of hearkening back to like a 90s kids cartoon. It's kind of that goofy Blue's Clues 3D look, right? It's got the CRT filter. It almost looks like maybe you're watching a Blue's Clues VHS tape in a lot of ways, right? You're not watching it on TV. You're watching it in a VCR for whatever reason, which is also Amanda the Adventurer coded. But unlike Amanda the Adventurer, where, people may remember, maybe you've played out there, you've played Amanda the Adventurer. It's actually quite popular compared to when I brought it back in the day, I suppose, a couple years ago. In that game, it is basically a puzzle game where you're kind of walking around an attic, and every once in a while you'll get to play the tape of Amanda the Adventurer. In this, it seems like you're immersed into the cartoon itself. You are actually playing a role, I suppose, in this cartoon. It doesn't ever explain extremely well, at least not to the point that I've seen so far, what your specific role is in all this, other than discovery, or if you are important at all in some of the different events. But it makes sense that you have, as a character, you're in it to learn different things that you do, I suppose. I think the majority of the game, in terms of what you're looking at on screen, is extremely colorful, extremely kid show coded. It's welcoming. It makes it. They made it seem like a game that would be very fun for children. I would say that there are certain parts of this game that children would probably enjoy, but there are other parts that I would never let a child play. So just know that going in. The most interesting thing, I think, that a good way, and we do this every once in a while, but a good way to kind of explain what this game is doing is just reading the tags on Steam. The first two tags are just 3D first person, which tells you absolutely nothing. The third tag is psychological horror, which should tell you something about what you're stepping into. And then just physics and surreal. It is a strange. It's one of the weirdest games that I've ever played in my life. Just in terms of like coherence. But we'll get into more of what it's doing, and I guess if that will interest anyone out there. Obviously, it's on the quest log because I brought it. So music. For a while, I didn't know that there was any music. There is no music. There's a lot of sound effects, like when you pick things up. You are picking up berries a lot of the time in this game, and sometimes you get some money and you pick that money up, and there's like a ka-ching sound. And when you pick up and toss berries, there's like a satisfying bloop sound and things like that. But for the most part, there is no music until you discover that there's a radio, which took me quite a while to realize that I could have turned around, and like near where I'm doing other things, there is a radio that I can change the channel on and pick my own music. So you can kind of see which tunes you jive with and pick based on that. The majority of the music is quite upbeat, but as is most radios that we listen to across our two separate countries, I assume, there are a variety of different channels you can listen to, more metalish, more like classic rockish, more jazz. So it's just what are you kind of into, and pick the station you like, right? Which is cool. I enjoyed the music for what it was. It seems like, I believe if you step too far away from the radio, it does the thing where it's like, oh, you're moving away. You hear the radio less, right? So there is that whole thing. If you really want to hear the music, then you almost have to pick up the radio and move it with you as you're doing the tasks that are involved in this game. I don't know how much I can talk about the story. There's really not a whole lot you can say about what's going on here without spoiling things. It is very much a drip-fed story, and you get as much out of it as you want. I will say it is a good story, And it is interesting how it feeds it to you. You can find, I think, fairly early on, so I don't think this is really much of a spoiler. Fairly early on, you can find a cassette tape that you can listen to if you pick it up. And there's like a little shack that you can start in that's got a computer in it and a bunch of other stuff that's blurred out. You don't really know why it's blurred out, if it's like a glitch or something. But you're able to listen to these different cassette tapes, and they go in order because you put them on a shelf, but you don't necessarily find them in order. So you can, depending on the order you find these cassette tapes, you're finding out different pieces of sort of a mystery that you don't exactly know what's going on. And then once you've found the whole collection, you can listen to them back to back to back and be like, oh, now I get what's happened, right? So that's pretty cool. A lot of this game is, I suppose, puzzling in that way. There are actual puzzles. I talked about Groon a little bit at the top, and we'll get into some of that in gameplay here in a minute. But everything kind of fits together in different patterns, which is kind of cool. But you don't necessarily always discover the pattern until you have more information, which I know a lot of people out there enjoy a game like that, where you get information drip fed to you as you go, and then there's like a greater puzzle that you're trying to solve. But with all that, I am going to step into gameplay, which is also extremely strange. Do you guys have any questions about anything you've heard or seen on screen so far before I get into that?
No, my question is like, what is going on in this video, this trailer? What's the gameplay? So I'm curious.
I've been watching it loop now the entire time you've been talking and trying to puzzle out what the actual loop of the game is, and I still have no idea.
This is one of those games that we'll do this sometimes. We like to bring the obscure here, of course. So if I see, The Joy of Putting, I will often pick up that game because it's a little obscure. I don't know a whole lot about it. It's got a little chunk of positive reviews, and check it out. But every once in a while, we'll pick up, the big dog indies and see what they're all about. I don't think that I ever would have bought this game, to be honest with you, if it was 70 reviews, 80%, just by looking at the screenshots. But seeing that it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam, almost 2,500 reviews, I was like, well, there's something going on here, and it's interesting, I'm sure, because a lot of people like it, clearly. So that's why I'm going to get into it and see what's going on, and I did, and here we go. You, at the beginning of this game, have a little plant in this small room, I suppose. It makes it look like you're outside, but you can kind of tell that the walls are just that. They are walls, but there's grass, there's clouds, there's a sky, but it's very confined. And in front of you is a quite small hole, not even big enough for your character, whatever your character is, it's first person, but it's quite small. Nothing really fits in it other than behind you as you spawn in is a plant that is growing blueberries. And you learn pretty quickly. I think on my first run, this is a run-based game. It is a roguelite, I suppose, in that way, but it isn't. It's a little bit of a different. We'll get into some of the roguelite elements, but basically, you grab this blueberry and you walk over to the hole and you drop it into the hole, and out comes a penny, or what I assume is a penny. It gets you $1 or whatever in in-game currency. It's like, okay, cool. I got $1. And you turn back around and you see the plant, and there grows another blueberry. So you go and you grab that once it pops off, and they eventually, as the plant can kind of push out more and more berries, they just fall on the ground. You're not picking it off the plant all the time. So you're able to just look down on the ground, pick up this blueberry, go over, put it in the hole. You realize pretty quickly that there's a sun in the sky that's counting down how long you have in your run. And once it's over, the whole screen goes black. That's where the very creepy side comes in, because everything just freezes and there's this like eerie, ominous tone that comes on screen, and a bed pops up, and it's like you can walk up to it and you can sleep. For whatever reason, there's also this pig that floats above the bed that has like spinny hypnotic eyes. And it's like, what is going on? It's like an acid trip. I swear it is the weirdest game. But you also realize as you're about to go to sleep that the hole is slowly moving towards you at all times when you've run out of time. Like, oh, it's ominously inching it towards you, which initially the hole's too small to consume you. But as you guys can imagine, the hole does get bigger as you get more and more and more berries. So it does put like a little bit of a time constriction on, like maybe you haven't picked up all the money from that run. So you start walking around the hole and picking up all the money. Well, the hole is slowly moving towards you, so you kind of have to dodge the hole as you're picking things up before you go to bed. But from what I could tell, there was never a urgency other than getting consumed by the hole and losing money. That's all that really happens, is you lose half of what you, from what I could tell, you lose half of what you had picked up in money on that run if you died to the hole. Other than that, you just sleep in the bed and you restart your run. So after a run is over, there is this very clear blue screen, VCR, CRT blue screen that pops up where your shop is. And you can buy upgrades like upgrade how quickly, or the different kinds of berries that can be produced. You can upgrade your berry buddies. You can buy more berry buddies. Berry buddies are dudes that just kind of walk around and they give you the berries as they walk. So you have the plant behind you. You can also have berry buddies. You quickly realize that the motivation, at least the primary motivation of this game, is to get as many berries as possible, put as many of those berries into the hole as you possibly can, and make as much money as you can. That's kind of where the farming sim side of it comes from. But there are a lot of like other weird things happening around it. So it quickly you're like, okay, this game wants me to do this thing, but there's also something else I can go do. Like I can make the hole go in different directions if I press different buttons. And then I can make it swallow up pieces of the land. Like the gnomes you guys were talking about. It can consume the gnomes. That's where the Katamari Damacy part comes from. In Katamari Damacy, you can roll a ball and pretty much eat. It's not really eating, but push everything into the ball, right? And you're rolling up this huge ball, and you can roll up the entire world. In this game, the hole constantly gets bigger as you feed it more and more and more berries, and eventually it can literally suck everything into it that's on screen. I don't want to spoil a lot, but you get to a point fairly early on where you're able to see cars on screen that you can consume with the hole. So that becomes a big part of this game. The side part of this game, and the part that I think will interest a lot of people, and I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll dance around as much as possible. There are also just random puzzles on screen that you see. One of them maybe has like a picture of the symbols on the radio. You're not really sure what's going on there. It gives you like some math equations that go with this radio. I don't know. One of them looks like you can hit them with berries, and there's random pictures on the ground. I don't know what's going on there. That
you earned my wish list. You've earned my wish list.
Yeah. Yes, that's the Steve puzzle stuff, where it's like, what is happening here, and what do I need to do here? You realize that the world, and that's kind of the Grune side of it, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned Grune earlier. There's just an extra layer of stuff. So you quickly get into this mode, I suppose, of balancing between the primary intent, which is to feed the whole berries and make money and do the roguelite thing, get more and more money so you can buy more and more stuff, and do the side stuff. There were runs where all I was doing was berry farming, and I would get upgrades. You can, very early on, you get an upgrade where you get a vacuum, so you can like suck in berries and then spit them all out. So you're doing it a lot quicker than just picking them up by hand and throwing them in the hole. And lots of that stuff comes over time. You can upgrade the plant and things like that. So you're just making a crap ton of berries. You can literally move the hole to be underneath the plant. So it's just spitting all the berries right into the hole, and you're just making money like crazy. And then you can kind of go and do something else. Figure something else out in the world, see what's going on. There were runs where all I did was have the hole consume the random objects that are all over the screen to try to see what goes on there, because certain objects get consumed, unlocks different stuff, things happen. It is one of those kinds of games. And underneath this, all these layers, I suppose, of different gameplay types, there is a story, as I mentioned before, that at first I was like, oh, this is kind of goofy, and then later I was like, holy crap, this is way deeper and darker than I ever thought it could be. So, I think that is everything that I want to talk about with Berry. And man, it's one of those games where I wish that I knew somebody who had played this thing from start to end, because I want to hear their experiences. It's just one of those types of games. Like, how did you feel about this game? Yes, I don't know.
It's a weird one. Yeah,
it is so strange. But that will lead me into go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, the only question I was going to ask is like, how long did it take you to like? You can finish the game, right? There's credits. There's like an ending, correct? There's a story ending. Okay, so how long did it take you to get there?
There are actually, from what I could tell, 4 different endings.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's even more like Grun in that way, too, where it's
yes.
like, yep. Gotcha.
And I've only gotten 2 of them so far. So I've seen credits twice. I think I know what the third one is. I just haven't dove back in. It's one of those where I truly walked around my house aimlessly after finishing this game. I was just like, my mind hurts. I don't know. But, it took me about 7 hours to get 2 of the endings. And I think that you can almost rattle off endings once you get to a certain point. 6 to 7 hours to get enough of this game done to do its thing. I will say I did peak achievements a little bit, and I don't typically go for Steam achievements, but I do want to go for Steam achievements for Berry. And I peaked one of the achievements, and one of them is like complete the game in less than an hour. I have truly no idea how you can even do that to this point, but there's obviously a way to do it. It's just such a unique, interesting experience. It's hard. It's a game, but it's an experience. So
I'm curious, and the answer to this obviously doesn't have to be yes for a game to be interesting or worth talking about, but like, is it fun? Did you have fun playing it?
It is. The core concept is, if you are into roguelites like this, where you're getting as much stuff, making money, and repeat, it is insanely addictive. I could not stop playing. It was, okay, I got done with the run. I'll do one more run. I have an idea of what I want to do on my next run, and then I'll be done. But then 5 runs later, and I'm still playing. And each run, it's so snappy. You start out, and each run's like a minute, and you're moving on. You can increase that time as you go with more money by buying things at the shop. But it's so snappy. I think even at the end, my runs were only 2 minutes, which seems like so much more time than the 1 minute. It's wild, but yeah, it's extremely snappy. It is as pick up and play as you would ever want a game like this to be. So
this sounds really condescending, and I don't mean it that way, but it sounds condescending because it's like a fruit and colorful smiley face kids game.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh, this might be your blueprints, buddy. This might be
All right.
This might be the puzzle game for you.
It was nice. It was nice. This the second time I'm leaving the show today.
Guess
Bye. No.
See you later, big dogs.
Yeah, stay there.
No, I mean, maybe so. I mean, it looks interesting for sure. Like you've been very vague on purpose, obviously. So it's just like,
Yeah.
it looks like an assault on the senses a little bit. But I don't know. I'm very curious. I mean, it's only $8 too, which is definitely a selling point.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it's a cheap game. I'm so surprised that it's $8, to be honest with you. I mean, it is almost that dollar per hour value that a lot of people look for. I feel like they could have charged more for this game for kind of what you're getting and the longevity. Like, I feel like I could double my play time to really dig into what's going on with everything. So, any other questions before I put it on the log?
I don't think
All
so.
right.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I think we're good.
So, truly, I think the hardest quest log placement I have ever had in IndieQuest history since I've been on it.
Wow.
It is a game that I want to recommend to everyone, and yet want to recommend to no one. It is such a strange, like, I think that the majority of people that I tell to play this would like it and would enjoy the the addictive nature of it, but they would also be like, why did you tell me to play that? What even just happened to the last 7 hours of my life? But because of that, and because of how unique it is, I have to put it on the main quest. It is such... it is a game unlike any other. And for that, they deserve kudos. And it is good enough to obviously hold an overwhelmingly positive review rating on Steam. And I cannot say anything that could discern that. Like it deserves that.
I respect you describing it for us. This is the type of game where, Monday morning I'm in a Zoom meeting with my coworkers. If one of them asked, like, "Oh, Steve, you play any good games this weekend?" and the only thing I had played was Berry, I would just say, "No, I didn't play anything this weekend."
I'm playing Eco again, Like,
yeah, just Skyrim, just the huge. But very cool. Also, I'm sure you said at the top. I might have missed it, but just so folks know, it's berry. The first and last are the food berry. The middle one is the act, like shovel berry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, B-U-R-Y.
That's the whole part. Yep. Yep.
Crazy. In a good way.
Yes.
My curiosity is very piqued. I will play this at some point.
Yeah, if you've got a few hours, it's cool to experience it for a couple hours, even if you don't know if you're going to make it to the end. It's worth that. So.
All right. Well, let's let our guest here bring a game to the quest log. Max, what you got for us today?
All right. Can I take a couple seconds to talk about games? I decided to not bring today because I had a bit of trouble. Like I'm playing so many like indie games, and I decided to play a new game for the show today. And the first game, I went on my wish list. I checked everything that looked really cool, and I was like, yes, this game is definitely my pick for the episode. It's called From the Top. It's a Beyblade roguelike. It looked awesome. It's like it's 3D, but it's kind of 1-bit coded still. But man, I didn't like the game. I was like, this is the game for me, and it just didn't hit. And my main complaint is that everything's too slow. Like every time you're fighting another Beyblade, you have to knock them twice, like kill 2 hearts to beat them. So every time you launch your Beyblade, it takes like, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. So every encounter is at least a minute long, and then you have to choose which Beyblade. And if you lose, then it's another 30 seconds on top of that. And the farther you get into the run, it's like the same kind of Slave of the Spire map. If you get an elite, then you have to knock 3 Beyblades of them, and they each have 2 hearts. So that will take like 6 minutes of just Beyblading, and you don't have a lot of control on your Beyblade because it's a freaking Beyblade. And then you get near the end of the map, and then each of those 3 Beyblades will have 3 hearts. And like, yeah, I'm not Beyblading for 15 minutes. It's way too much. So sadly, I did not enjoy From the Top. So dang, I didn't bring it to the show. So I went back on Steam, and I bought a game called the Goofy Giraffe Game, which is a 3D platformer. It plays like Banjo-Kazooie, basically.
I saw this one.
I have to find a bunch of stuff into the level. I think they're carrots, and the whole gameplay is that you extend your neck by finding spots. Those are like the main collectible. And the more spots you get, the more double jumps you get. And the game is actually super cute. It's super fun. But I didn't feel like it had enough meat on the bone, like for me to bring and complete for this episode. I still think it's a fun game. I will complete the game, but I didn't feel like bringing this to the show today. So I decided to go back to a game I know I enjoyed. Shantae. No. Sorry. I'm not being Shantae because I've decided to bring Goliath Depot to the quest log. So I have a lot of biases. I'm gonna put that up front. This game was made by my cousin, Vidvat Games. So I've heard about this game for a long time. While it was in development, I tried the game before it releases, but truly, this is a game I really enjoyed. If this wasn't made by my cousin, I would still be all over it. It's an arcade platformer. It's an homage to like arcade platformers from the 80s. If you think more modern, it's a bit like Donut Dodo. If you've played that one, that game's a freaking banger. It's in the same kind of genre. And the idea behind the game is let's try to fix Hotel Mario. It's the same game loop as Hotel Mario. You go around, you close doors. And like the core of Hotel Mario is not bad. Like it's 2D platformer, you go around, single screen, you close doors. It's just that it's on the freaking CDI, it's slow. The enemies just keep opening the doors back again. So my cousin decided to take this idea and turn it up on its head and try to make it the most fun he could do. Visually, the game looks like classic 80s arcade game, like Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3. No, you get the gist of it. But it's mostly dark backgrounds with a lot of, instead of just it being pure black like in the 80s, it has a lot of like dark faded Easter eggs in the background. I think in one of the levels there's a DeLorean, so it's worth like pausing. Yeah, well, I say that, but when you pause, you cannot see the screen. But it's worth stopping and looking at the background from time to time. And everything else is on front of the screen, super sharp, super vibrant, and it's all pixel art. I don't know the actual resolution. I think I have it really, really near. I think it's supposed to be 480 by 270. That's the resolution of the game. So it's classic 8-bit pixel art. And really, the game is super bouncy. Like every enemy, the main character just has that good pixel art energy. So I know pixel art gets a bad rep from time to time because it's easier to put pixels on the screen than trying to like 3D model or go with an hand-drawn style. But I'm really impressed with what Vidvad made with the pixel art. The main characters is George, or you can play as his female counterpart, Georgette, and he's just a guy working in a warehouse. And what happens is that one night, everything in the warehouse starts to like come alive and try to kill everybody. So you have boxes moving around, you have gears throwing different freaking other gears at you, you have rotating fireballs kind of thing. It just comes alive, and it's all coming from those freaking doors. So George goes around and tries to close every doors. So the first world is the warehouse. He closes all the doors. You have to fight a giant box at the end. Then George was like, okay, maybe it's coming from the factory. So he goes to the factory. Turns out there's a bunch of doors in the factory too, but we'll get into the gameplay after that. He closes all the doors in the factory. Then he goes into the parking lot, and then there's a bunch of doors in the parking lot somehow. You have to fight a snowplow as the final boss. And then he goes to the headquarters of the Goliath depot. There's a bunch of doors there too, and then he confronts the owner of the Goliath company, and turns out he's the guy behind it all. He's trying to like make doors to control the world or something. And there's a little funny gag kind of skit after the credits. So I won't spoil it, but it's a reference to like a French YouTube channel inspired by the AVGN. So if you're French, you'll get it maybe. But yeah, it's pretty funny. I got a good laugh. Like he didn't tell me about that ending. So when I finished the game, I was like, damn, you're so stupid. That's perfect. The music really fits with the pixel art aesthetic. Is made by Zero Lag, which is a guy we know from Quebec. He makes a lot of music around here, and it's super bouncy electronic music. It really feels like it gets you into the groove to play some arcade game. It's maybe not as catchy as Donut Dodo. I think that one's like an S plus tier 8-bit music, but it's clearly between A and S. It's really good music, and it will just get you pumped from back to finish. Every level will start the music back from the beginning, so that can be a little downside. Like sometimes, because each level will only take you like a couple seconds to beat. You just have to go around, avoid the enemies, close the door. So it's going to take you like 20, 30 seconds at most. So hearing that beginning of the song all over again, I guess it could annoy some people. To me, I don't really care. Like that's part of the like arcade aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I wanted to like make a note of it.
Yeah.
So how does the game play? So at first you play as George, and the only ability you have is to jump and close doors. And the way the game decides to make those doors interesting is that whenever you slam a door down, you shut a door, it will create shockwaves left and right that will go all over the screen. And if that shockwaves goes over an enemy, that enemy becomes stunned, and then you can kick that enemy. So it removes the enemy from the screen for a couple seconds. And that gives you score, and you can combo all of those. So the more enemies you hit with shockwaves and you knock out one after the other, the higher the combo, and then you get a better score. Because the game can be played in multiple ways. We'll get into that. So you jump around, you have a single jump, no double jump. You cannot like jump down platforms. You have to like go up ladders, like classic Donkey Kong style. Close the doors, knock enemies out. There's 8 coins in every level that you can also collect. That gives you more score. And if you collect all the coins, you get a bonus at the end. And then you go back to the main door and you get to the next level. Each world has 10 levels. The 9 first levels are about closing all the doors, getting back to the main door, and the final level is a boss fight. And the bosses, the way they work is that there are special doors that you close that will attack the boss, and whenever all the doors are closed in that boss fight, they will open it back again. And then you can shut them down back again to hit the bosses. So it's a bit of a cat and mouse situation where you have to close the doors, avoid the boss, and then go back into the offensive where you close the doors. Like I said, the game can be played in multiple ways. So you can just play the game, try to go as fast as possible. That's super encouraged. Like the way the game was designed was speedrun first. So every level has a special route that you can take that will help you avoid like all of the obstacles as fast as you can. You can also go full completionist mode, trying to collect all the coins for the level. There's an achievement for that. You can also play pacifist. So if you don't kill any enemies, there's also some achievements for that. And you can also go for score. So I think on the first world, I still have the high score for... Not many people go for the scores, but you can reopen doors. So if you reopen a door, then you can close it again to attack the enemy back again. So, and the enemies respawn. So when I did that high score, I really maximized the first level, which gives you a lot of opportunity to like chain a lot of enemies one after the other. So I would close the doors, kill all the enemies, then reopen every door and go back again and do that loop over and over again, die, and then redo the same level over just to make my high score as high as possible. You have 3 lives to finish a world. If you lose all of your 3 lives, then you can get a continue by using your coins, and if you lose out of your all your continues, you cannot buy any more continues, then you have to restart the whole world over. It's really like arcade strategy. And that's for the normal difficulty, because once you've beaten every world with the normal difficulty, then you can get the hard difficulty. And in that one, you cannot get any continue. You just have to power through. And once you're in the hard mode, you get a lot more enemies on screen, tighter timers, and the enemies will respond faster. But I think the hard mode is where the game really shines, because when I play the normal mode, it's too easy for me. Like, I'm not a god gamer, but I'm fairly good at platformers, and the normal modes, I can cruise through it like without any trouble. Even though there's a lot of things on screen to look at once, it's really not that big of a deal. But on hard mode, there's like twice as many enemies. You have to be on your toes. You really have to be focused. You cannot listen to a podcast while you play this game. It takes all of your attention. So yeah, hard mode is really where it's at. You can also get better combos. You kill more enemies at once. It's just the way I like to play the game.
I do want to mention though, Max.
Yes.
So that our listeners know, going into whoever wants to play this game, and I certainly do. Unfortunately, I think that this sale will be gone by the time we release this. But
while we're recording, it's 75% off. Now, but it's ending tomorrow, so like yesterday for people listening.
Yeah. Max he's being humble, but he's actually really good at video games to the point where
he is. Yep.
He absolutely smokes all of us that go to a con that we all go to at Tetris Attack. We'll line up and he'll just take us all down. So I do wonder how hard this game actually is, because I feel like you think that things are less hard than they actually are sometimes. But
that can be true. Absolutely. I played it again today, and like I finished the normal mode, and when I started the hard mode, I was like, oh yeah, there are so many enemies on screen. I feel like many people will be just fine playing the normal mode.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's a bit easy, but I think most people will have enough things to think about when they play normal mode, because you're not just like jumping around and closing the doors. There are many gimmicks that appear the more you play. In the factory, you have like pillars that can crush you, and enemies that can attack you from like the ceiling and will like stun you for a couple seconds. In the parking lot, there are enemies that can froze the doors, so you have to like hit them a bunch of time to remove the ice so you can close the doors. And in the factory, in the headquarters, you have a surveillance laser that if you close enough doors, it will activate the security system, and there's a big laser coming from the other side of the level, and you have to like warp around from the right side to go back from the left side. And if you're stuck, you're stuck. You lose a life because of the laser. And even in that world, you also can play like upside down in some part of the level. So you're upside down, there's a big lasers, there's like 10 enemies on screen. It gets really chaotic. Final thing I wanted to say about the gameplay. So the coins that you collect, you will let you unlock power-ups. So the first power-up that you will get is to jump down a platform. That can really help. But my two favorite power-ups are the glide and the double jump. Because once you unlock the glide and the double jump, you can only activate one of them at the same time, but they really open up the levels in a lot of ways. Because if you have only a single jump, you have to take the stairs to go up a level to avoid enemies. You can only jump so high. But if you have a double jump, you can really break all of the levels, and it gets really fun to make your own route and just...
Right.
It really feels like you've mastered the level at that point. And even with the glide, you get like far jump from the left, far jump to the left, you just go above big gaps. It's super fun.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, I think that covers most of the game. There are like those 4 worlds. The last one as the final boss, you beat the dude who owns the company, and then there's like a chase sequence with a big evil eye, and then you've beaten the game. And once you've beaten the whole game, you unlock a bunch of other modes. You unlock classic arcade mode where you have to play all 40 levels in a row with like a single set of lives. You get also random mode that will move all the doors, the coins, everything around. And you also get a speed run mode where you can just speed run all of the levels individually and practice your runs for everything. So there's a lot of content. For a couple bucks, there's really a lot you can do with this game. It's available on Steam. It's available on Switch. I don't know if they are available anywhere else, but it's also available on itch. And yeah, I also have a little Easter egg in the game. There's a level like where you have 2 fire bars that are shaped like a clock. And when I saw that, I told my cousin, "Hey, it would be cool if the clock started exactly at the time that you're playing." When you're playing the level. So whenever you get into that level, they never start at the same point because they start exactly at the time of your clock on your computer. So
That's sweet.
technically, if you want the best speed run, you have to find the best pattern and the best time to play the level.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's awesome.
And work your way back from that level to the beginning of the game to be like, all right, at minute 23, I'll be here. I need it to be 7:42 on the clock.
See you in 12 hours.
Yep.
All right. Any questions before it goes on the quest log?
I don't have questions. I will just say one. It's kind of nice to see a game that cares about score in the modern era.
Yes.
We've pretty much abandoned the idea of score chasing in almost every genre, but especially platformers. And it's just cool to see when that kind of goes back to that. And the other thing that I'll just mention, because it won't come through if you're not watching a video of it, it obviously, like Potomax is saying, is very inspired by Donkey Kong, Hotel Mario, stuff like that. But it is a much snappier game than what I think of in those older arcade games. Like you watch video of this and the character's moving at a pretty good clip. There's a lot happening on the screen. It just seems like faster paced in a way that, the modern audience might appreciate.
Yeah, it's basically modern arcade. It's taking the aesthetic of the 80s, but bringing in quality of life of 2025, 2026 now. It released in 2023, the 2020s.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. All right. So, Goliath Depot was my favorite game of 2023. So, without any doubt, this goes onto the main quest. I freaking love this game. I bought a Switch arcade enclosure that you can put your Switch in there.
Nice.
You can put the Joy-Cons and play as a little arcade, and I branded it all as a Goliath Depot thing. And I made this tiny arcade.
Cool.
Papercraft from Goliath Depot. It even has the music in there. I bought some Birdie Cards chips that you can record on there. So yeah, I freaking love Goliath Depot. It's really one of the best modern arcade games with Donut Dodo, and those are basically my top 2 of my favorite arcade games out there. So if there was an arcade of this in Can Wonderland, I'm sure it would always be packed. This game is so freaking fun.
I was looking on Steam and I saw that you have 43 hours. I was played in it. I was like, okay, he's probably gonna main quest it just from that stat right there alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I probably forgot my computer open a couple of times with that 43 hours.
Maybe.
But I have many hours in there. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know that there's a soul out there that does arts and crafts for their enthusiasm about a game and then puts
Seriously.
it on the side quest. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, the proof is in the pudding there. Very
All right.
cool. I bought it while we were talking about it. Again, it's on sale right now for like less than $2, so it's in my library. So we're doing pretty good. 2 wish lists and a purchase on just one episode for
Let's
me.
go.
Congrats, team.
Just open your wallet
Awesome.
up right when you start an episode, almost sometimes, right?
Seriously.
It's true. I'm grateful when you all bring games that are on current sale. You know, that helps
Yep.
the process quite a bit. Oh, all right. Well, I suppose that leaves it to me. And I'll try not to take too terribly long. You know, I know we have a bit of a longer episode, and the IndieQuest audience gets sleepy at about 90 minutes, so I don't want to keep them up too late, past their bedtime. But we are going to talk about a video game today. We're going to talk about Big Hops.
Ooh.
Oh.
We're
was-
talking about Big Hops.
It was between
you
that one
seen-
and another one in my head. So,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Yep. Mhm.
Have you seen the big interview he did on YouTube? Like some guy interviewed it and did like some kind of documentary about like the release of the game. So
It's in my watch list
Yeah.
right now, but I haven't watched it yet. Did you watch it? Is it
yeah,
good?
yeah, it's really good. It's really
Awesome.
fun. Yeah.
All right. So yes, Big Hops. It's developed and published. Seems to be self-published pretty much everywhere. I didn't do too much research to confirm, but it's developed and published by Luckshot Games. It's a studio that is primarily, I would say, at least fronted by Chris Wade. He seems to be like the guy who made this game, but he's also very clear on social media and whatnot that it was not a solo project. Like, it took the effort of a bunch of different people, QA, music, all that stuff was involved. But Chris is also the guy who is, when I was in their Discord playing through the game and had questions, he was responding to everybody. He's the guy who's out there putting TikToks out every day. He's the guy who's being interviewed in this documentary. Like, he's humble, but it's his game. It's Chris's game.
Well, you'll understand once you watch the video. But yeah, it's his game. He hired a bunch of people. He almost had the publisher, so you'll learn all about it.
Oh, see? I should have watched the feature film. It came out this year. It's from 2026 game. It came out January 12th, and it's currently available on PC, Switch, and PlayStation 5. So, play it where you want to. And it is very much not shy about its inspirations. This is, and I use this like line to describe games a lot, but this is a game from somebody that grew up playing Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, and then they got inspired and said, I'm going to make mine. I'm going to make my version of that. I want to make one of those. And so you play as the name kind of puns you into figuring out. You play as the adorable little frog guy. And he's just off, like, he's kind of like wandering the forest. He's doing his thing, and he sort of gets thrust into this bigger adventure. He gets kidnapped, make it sounds intense. Frog-napped. He finds himself in a situation where he's sort of being forced by this villainous looking guy. You can tell that he's evil because he's very purple coated in the game. Everything else is colorful, so you know that the people that are in the purple world and wearing purple clothes are going to be the bad guys. A guy named Dis, who's basically like, you have to go collect these things called dark drips if you ever want to get home. If you want me to send you back to your home, that's what you have to do, and I'm not going to tell you any more about why. You'll learn why as the game goes on. It does have a story, but it's basically him saying you have to go collect the 100 stars, the 100 jiggies, but they're dark drips. They're big glowing purple orbs in this game. And so that's what you're going to do. It's always hard to like describe a 3D platformer without seeing it, because so much of the specificity comes down to like the physics and the momentum of that particular game, and like how they space things and how precise they want it to be. But I will say, to me, this is a relatively modern 3D platformer in the sense that it is momentum based and kind of like chaining your moves together. It's very focused on that. So it's the type of game that wants you to do the Mario Odyssey thing. You know, the classic Mario dives, throws the cap, dives to bounce off the cap, lands on the wall jumps. It wants you to do that, where it wants you to like do a stomach slide into a rollout, into another dive, into sticking your tongue out to grab a log, to swing really fast. Like it wants you to kind of zoom through the levels relatively quickly, but not so much that it's like Josh, what's that game that you hate that I never play? Haste?
Haste.
Haste? Yeah, I'll play it someday, buddy. I promise. It's not like that, or, you know, a classic IndieQuest example would be Crumble. It's not quite Crumble.
Right.
But is this called Crumble? Yeah, Crumble.
Yeah.
Shout out to Crumble, man.
Shout out to Crumble.
Classic Crumble.
Classic.
We love that game. It's not quite like that where like the whole idea is just movement, where it's like sort of tunnel levels that want you to just go as fast as possible, because these are still open areas. In fact, they're very open areas. It's the whole game is there's a variety of locations, but I would say that there's like 3 or 4 main hubs, like big levels that you're going to explore. The first one that you'll come across to get like if someone's playing this game and they get to this first level, they'll know what I mean by like a hub. There's an adorable dog on screen. Oh my god. That doesn't play for the audio, folks, but just promise me that I'm looking at a very good boy or very good girl. Okay. Incredible. So the first area that you're going to get to is like a desert type zone, like a sort of mesas, orangey desert. And it becomes pretty apparent pretty quickly that you will be searching for, like, I think there's 5 in that area, 5 of the dark drips. So again, my brain, I'm too born in the late 80s pilled. My brain goes right to Mario 64. I'm like, okay, 6 stars per world. That's the correct amount of collectibles for a level to have is 6. Mm-hmm. So I start with that level and I'm like, yes, they understand exactly how many collectibles I want to find. But the area is probably 3 times bigger than any Mario 64 world is. So they're a lot more spaced out, a lot more spread out than that. Thankfully, there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of both moves in your toolkit to get around, but also like ways in the level often to get around. You'll find like sort of like poppers type things that you can like tongue onto that will send you launching. You can get into little like cannon things. Sometimes there's like mine carts that you can hop into and ride to go quick. There's a lot of different like ways that they allow you to navigate the worlds pretty quickly. And then the minute to minute platforming is usually pretty straightforward, but the one thing that they add on top of, I guess, like the typical Mario moveset is they add a stamina meter and a climbing mechanic. So this is one of those games where you can cling to basically anything in the entire game and do a little like wall climb up. Now, it's very limited. Like your stamina drains very quickly and you can't get super high. Like you're not going to navigate big areas. But what's really nice about it is that it basically is like a mistake correction. So if you're doing some platforming, and often this game will require like chains of moves, like one of the things that the game really cares about and is actually really good at is wall running, because it's pretty momentum based. So you'll do like dives into a wall run and then jump off that wall, swing off your tongue, land on another wall, do a wall run, and then maybe do like one more last jump dive onto a cliff. And so if you like, you know, didn't execute that chain of moves perfectly, like maybe you didn't quite have the full momentum on your wall runs, or like your swing off of that middle section sent you a little too high, so you weren't going as fast anymore. That last bit where you can grab onto the wall and sort of like climb up 5 or 6 hands is really nice for you to basically be like, I got close enough, and this allows me to get further up. It also, if you're a person like me, lets you enjoy, I'll say breaking the game, but like experimenting with creative solutions, because this game is kind of one of those games where you can find like little tiny footholds to stand on that was I supposed to stand on this? I don't know that I was. And so it's often like you could be climbing a cliffside and find like a little nook to stand in just long enough to refill that stamina meter, then jump, climb a little further, find a little nook to stand and sort of cheat. Yeah, it is cheesy. You cheese your way into some situations. I'll be straightforward about it, but it's all in good fun. You're never gonna, as far as I can tell, you'll never be able to like break the game or the logic of it. So either they were aware, he was aware, or the game is just designed in such a way that happens to account for that.
I always wonder with those situations, like if they didn't design it that way, then why did they give that a hitbox? You know what I mean?
Yes. My assumption, which I don't know, is that maybe like in a lot of those situations that is the default. You drop that mesh in from wherever, and like it has a hitbox because it's a mesh, and then you have to smooth it out or remove it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I will say, I always point out when games do that, and I think other people would consider that a mark of like, I don't know. It would be a black mark, and I'm going to strike against it. For me, big fan.
Yeah,
because I love wiggling my way into an impossible situation. I love cheesing it, and I far prefer it to the alternative, which is where they're like really heavy-handed with like invisible walls and blocking you off from places.
Yeah.
That feels so much worse. Everybody likes the feeling of like you got one over on the game dev, even though for sure they're aware of what you were doing. So it's fun. So you'll run around, you'll collect the dark drips. There's actually a lot of different things to collect. You'll collect the big things, the dark drips. There's also these small little, I don't even know what you call them. They're like Pac-Man pellets, little purple pellets that you'll find. Those act as like kind of a currency. And you'll use those where at certain spots in different levels, you can talk to Dis, that villain who's kind of holding you hostage basically. And you can purchase different badges that you put on your character's backpack that give you little upgrades or little, they just modify things a little bit. So it's anything ranging from like, maybe you belly slide a little faster to you have extra health to, one of them actually like shows you the HUD, which is weird. Like the game will not show you how many of the collectibles you are still missing in the game unless you equip a badge that tells you that. So obviously I never took that one off.
Right.
And then there's some particularly helpful ones later on where you can get ones that help you sort of hunt the last few collectibles that you haven't gotten in a level yet, so that when you get like 90% there, you aren't just scaling these entire levels top to bottom. Although they do have some linearity, so it can often be pretty hard to tell. You'll also collect some other stuff like bugs, which are just kind of like a small side quest, but different areas will have unique bugs that you can capture and bring back to like a bug collector. You'll find mixtapes, which you can bring back to a jukebox and play tracks from the game. Game has a pretty fun soundtrack. It's pretty, it's boppy, it's melodic. It's nothing that like stuck in my head that I'm humming the tunes after the fact, but it certainly fits the very colorful, bubbly energy of the game. So it's fun to have the mixtapes there. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you really care what the individual collectibles do? You're playing a collectathon platformer. Anything that's collectible, you're going to go get, right? You just checklisting. Yep. And that's how the human brain works, is we want to get all of the things. Yeah, it is quite satisfying to collect. However, the structure of the levels for like completionists out there, like those of you that are trying to get like the platinum trophy or want to get 100% collectibles, I would say it's a little arduous because the levels can be pretty big to backtrack through. There's not a super great fast travel, and the levels are like broken up into, I don't know how to describe it, but like an area will be broken up into like 4 different areas, but it'll all be under like the same banner of the same level type. So it'll be like the desert area will have 4 individual environments you can explore, but there's like the main one and then 2 smaller ones, and you just have to like remember to go back to all those. So it can just be a little clunky to get around the world in that way. Oh, what else do we got about this one? You can, as part of like navigating the world, which is also pretty cool, as if I haven't already described enough tools in your tool belt, you can also pick up different like fruits and seeds and things that you can put into your backpack. Your backpack actually has like X number of spaces that you can store items in, and when you throw those, it will, wherever it lands, it will grow a plant that does something that'll help you navigate the world. And so like there's things like acorns will grow like a vine that will help you get some vertical distance. You can throw mushrooms, which are like big trampolines you can bounce off of. There's some weirder ones, like there's like this bubble flower that when you launch it, wherever it lands, it spits a bubble, like it spits a few bubbles out in the opposite direction, and the bubbles are like grapple points that you can stick to with your tongue, so you can use those to get like a lot of horizontal distance. And yeah, they just add some nice variety. And they're also another way, this is a great game for people that want to feel like they're breaking it. It's a really great way to feel like you're cheesing puzzles and levels, because obviously certain areas will be designed around using certain plants to navigate those obstacles. But if you've just been saving like a couple of the fruits or something from a previous level that you've just been carrying around with you for 2 hours in your backpack, sometimes you'll look at a whole puzzle and you can be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I have one of the bounce mushrooms in my backpack. I'm just going to bounce up 20 feet and just collect the thing and be done. So sometimes you feel like rewarded for having hoarded all of your little trinkets as you played through the game. And yeah, what do you not know about Big Hops that you want to know about Big Hops?
I think you kind of answered this, but I do wonder your opinion of it. Would you have preferred the levels be smaller, more traditional?
Yes, I would definitely have preferred. One of the things that I will say, now this is all just coming down to my preference and how a platformer operates, and different people will have different preferences, so this might not bother somebody at all. I like my platformers, again, I'm a child of the 80s. Mm-hmm. I like my platformers to be like hub worlds where I'm collecting all the gizmos or like all the gadgets and then moving on to the next one. But it's like that one level was the level, and that's all it was. So the way that this game is like bigger and the levels are broken up into different chunks, it makes the game feel a little more linear. And especially as you go on through the game, oftentimes later worlds will only have like 2 or 3 of the dark drips, which are usually like one that you'll get for finding one of the hidden like challenge rooms, and then one that's like basically a story reward for getting to the end of that level or completing the objective. And so the later the game goes on, I feel like the less there is to explore around and find. It gets more linear as you play, which is a bit of a bummer.
I wonder if if there was like a time crunch going on, and so they didn't get fleshed out as much as the earlier stages.
Yeah, it could have been, or it could have been just his vision too. Like the later levels are still cool and interesting, but I think I just am looking for a little less narrative, a little more like poking around, a little more hunting down collectibles in a game that I play. It's also pretty long. Well, not pretty long, but like, again, this is something that, depending on who you are, this might be a positive. But it's like a 10 to 12 hour game if you're a relatively diligent collectathon player. And so if you think about that spread across like, a handful of key locations, you're going to be spending like hours in each of them. And so you might tire of one kind of biome before the game is ready to move you on. Yeah. Any other questions, boys?
Stupid question. Does this outshine Chameleon Twist as a tongue-based, cold-blooded, vertebrate 3D platformer?
See, here's the thing. Chameleon Twist, that's a thinking man's game, all right? That's like a puzzle game disguised as a platformer.
That's what's up, big dog.
I would yeah, that's what's up.
Big dog.
This says more about me than it does about Big Hops, but I'd pop in Chameleon Twist every time. That's the way I'm going.
I love the multiplayer in Chameleon Twist. It's so much fun. So okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You get me.
Yeah. This is why we're buds.
Yes.
It is this is like, it's a tremendously like colorful, fun game. Like if you hear the pitch, which is a 3D platformer where you play as a cute frog, you're like, sign me up, and you play the game and it fully delivers. Like all the environments look great. Hop is a very cute, very fun main character. There's a lot of effort and attention to detail that went into the game. Like everything is voice acted, which I feel like is really rare for a game like this.
Don't sugarcoat it. Put it on the side quest. We see you coming.
We're getting to where it's coming. All right, Max. All right, Bucko. So there's a lot to love about this game. I just felt like the pacing was a bit uneven at times. It was the type of game that by the end I was ready for it to be done. I appreciated a lot of what I played, and I think that here's what I'm learning about myself. I think this comes down to maybe me more than the game. I'm a huge 3D platformer fan, but I think I'm really picky because there keep being 3D platformers that people really love that I play, and I'm like, it's not quite what I'm looking for. You know, like there's games like A Hat in Time or Demon Turf where like they're very well respected, very well loved, and for whatever reason they just don't quite hit with me. Big Hops was maybe the closest of any of those to hitting with me, and it did. I mean, it hit enough for me to play all the way through it and get the platinum and collect everything. So like I liked it. I'm talking about it on IndieQuest. It's a good game. But there were times where I was like, it just felt like it was being a little clunky, overstaying its welcome, or like I was spending too much time in a town running back and forth talking to people and not enough time platforming and collecting stuff, even though all the trappings of the actually collecting when you're doing it is really quite fun. So I think for me, and I guess now for the show and canonized in all time, set in stone, Big Hops is a side quest. But I do think many of you out there, not to hedge, but I think many of you out there would think it's a main quest. So like, I don't know how many listeners we have that really like throw away the side quests and only pay attention to the main quests.
Right.
But if you're that kind of listener, genuinely check it out, because this might just be me being too picky.
I mean, I got a lot of crap, speaking of Hat in Time, for putting that on a side quest. You know, I put that on a side quest when I brought it, you know. But
Hey,
I
man,
think
I'm here
that's
with
a
you.
main quest for many, you know, because that game was
Yeah.
great too for a lot of reasons. But yeah, that's a different game. But obviously, it's kind of the same idea because it's like a throwback platformer, you know.
It took me 2 times to get into A Hat in Time. The first time I played it, I don't know, something didn't click. I didn't like the camera, I didn't like the weight. But when I played it the second time, I really liked it. So
Yeah, it's good. It's a good game.
Games sometimes just don't hit at the right time.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's Big Hops, a side quest for me.
Awesome. Well, we brought 5 games to the quest log today.
Yeah, we did.
The Joy of Putting on the main quest because it's awesome. And then we got Hypogea, which is a nice cozy side quest from me. We got Berry with 2 different spellings there. It's we'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, that's from Seth. That was a main quest, wasn't it? You said, or a side quest?
Yes.
The main quest.
Yeah.
Main quest. I love it when there's just the weirdest game I've ever seen in my life, and it's a main quest. That's the best. And then we got Goliath Depot, which is from Potomax. And then we got, finally, and that was a main quest, and we got Big Hops, a nice, cozy side quest, which may be a main quest for others. There we go. All right, we do have a couple more things to get through today. Max, if you want to hang out, you can, but if you need to take off, feel free to. It's up to you. But we got a campfire chat. We did get some comments and things here that we can read to people from people. I'll start with one we got via text, which you can do in the description of every episode. There's a little text box you can click, and it'll actually send us a text message on your phone. We got it from Chad, Go Hobo Go. He says, Go Hobo Go here. Since my memory isn't the best and I'll likely forget come January of next year, I wanted to say how much I love the bargain episode. It's already one of my favorite type of show, but then the madness that ensued was magnificent. Props to Seth for being prepared and still having to call an audible. It made for excellent podcasting. Can't wait for the next Bargain Quest episode. Yeah.
They are episodes that we always love doing too. And I think we said as much on the episode proper, but I love it because it allows us to, as like Max was describing earlier, like when you play a lot of cheap games, you can play more games. So it's nice in that way.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody want to take up this Spotify comment?
I'll take the next one. Sure. Yeah. So we got a comment from Paleona. Hello again. And then they said, definitely going to pick up Linelith. Sounds like a good breather game. I'm not sure if it's any of your cup of tea, but if you're looking for a short, cozy game, I recommend Creature Kitchen. And I think that I might even have Creature Kitchen on my wish list already. It looks cool and cozy, yes, but I've also seen that it's like spooky in some
a little creepy
small ways. Yeah. So
I bought that one. Just randomly saw a trailer for it,
nice.
and it's pretty cheap. But I was like, this would be a really fun game for my partner to be sitting and watching me play. That's pretty much why I bought it, because I feel like they'd enjoy seeing me play that, or maybe even playing it themselves. So yeah, it looks really cool.
Sick.
I just wishlisted it right now. So sweet. I can take this last one then if you want.
Okay.
It says, hey guys, love the show. It's really opened my eyes over the years to a lot of gems I might not have found otherwise. Keep it up. And I'll just pause and say thank you, Jason. We appreciate that. Says, a suggestion, can you spell the title of a game out if it's not an everyday word? Basically, if it's a weird one. There's been many times a game with a strange name's been shouted out, but since it's a podcast, I have to guess the spelling, and I often can't, even after multiple tries. Cheers.
Objection. The games are in the show notes and in the chapter names.
Look at
Yep.
you.
Don't
Potomax
you up,
beat me
Jason,
to it.
But if you can go onto your computer to send an email to IndieQuest podcast, you can surely get the description of the podcast and find the game there.
Yeah, that's something we. So like when we first started the show, we were trying to be like secretive about it. We're like, yeah, well, we still try to do that, but I still try to do like after the fold in the description, like, hey, the game names are in the description. You just got to kind of scroll down a little bit so that people can still get surprised along with us while we're doing the show. That was kind of the goal. But some people don't care about that. They're like, oh, what games they talk about? I can skip around. There's chapters for that too. So.
Yep. And I think we not often, but if they are particularly weird, we do attempt to like sound them out, because we have to also make it so that the other co-hosts can find the games that we're talking about.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
I was going to say, like, the first thing I do the second either of my hosts say the name of the game is I'm on Steam typing it in, like, all right, let's see some trailer. That's why I mentioned this time, that's why I called out that berry is a different berry for the second word, because I just punched 3 berries in a row and I didn't find it at first. I was like, all right, I'll save someone else my mistake. But yes, we are Koi Boys. We do hide them kind of deep in the description, but the names of the games are always in the description. And before or right around when the episode goes live, they are also always available at indiequestpod.com.
Oh.
We add them to the quest list pretty much
If only
immediately.
there was a quest log, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not on
So,
the show. I'm just a guest host. I can be. I can.
Talk a little
Yes.
crap. Yeah,
Yeah,
Max
good.
throwing pot shots from the back.
It's actually more helpful to go to the quest log, because I also link to either the developer's website or the Steam page for every single game. So you don't even have to ever type it in. You can just click 2 buttons.
Yeah, this is a thing that might be something that we haven't talked about for in like 100 episodes. Like all that stuff's in those things. So just a good reminder for people, So
Yeah.
You could add that to the description of the quest log.
okay.
Thanks, Jason.
Just like sure.
Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. And then the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to assign ourselves some second opinion games. We did this, I don't know, 5-6 months ago or something. But we're going to do that again for the other person. So basically what it's going to look like is we're going to pick 3 games from the quest log that we think that the other host should play, and then come back and do a second opinion on those picks. So I don't want to go first on this one. You guys could duke it out.
Oh, okay.
Or we can have Max to select.
I
who
can
goes
go first.
mean,
I see a
that's
little
something.
nervousness in Seth's eyes too. I see a little trepidation there. Okay, I can go first. So I have games. God, I hope this is who I'm supposed to pick for. I have games for Seth.
You do.
Yes?
Yes, that's right.
I did it right? Because
Yes.
not only did I do it, but I was also DMing him and he didn't correct me. So if so, he was really setting me up for a pie in the face come live episode.
This jackass, he's going to feel like such an idiot.
I don't remember if you've played any of these, but I have a couple backups just in the event you have. So you
Okay.
have 3 choices. I'll go down them one by one. You let me know one by one if you've played any of them. First one, and there's kind of a theme to my picks that'll be pretty hard to pick out. But if you can snag the theme, I'd love to know it.
Okay.
I also don't know what we've done in previous Second Opinion episodes because I didn't go back and look. So I'm really sweating here. I don't remember if I've ever assigned you Panzer Paladin. Have I ever assigned you Panzer Paladin?
No, and I've never
Okay.
played it either.
All right, so I'm 1 for 3. So Panzer Paladin is your first one. For those of you that have never played the game, it's a very 8 to 16-bit throwback, fun 2D side-scrolling platformer. You control like a robot. You can get out of the robot. It's a fun time. It's very fun. Second game, Hyper Light Drifter.
Cool. I own it. Never played it.
Beautiful. Pick that one because it's very, it's your type of game, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like isometric-y action hack and slash. It's like Tunic, which you love. So you'll have a great time.
Okay.
Or Death's Door, I guess.
Yeah.
Last one I picked for you, puzzle game. This is the one that maybe you've played. Braid?
I've never played Braid.
That's a good
Braid. So you were saying in the previous episode that you don't play a lot of puzzle games, but you've been finding some puzzle games like Linelith that you've been enjoying. And
Yeah.
so I was like, all right, let's see if you want to push yourself a little more and go puzzle heavy with this one.
Yes, those are 3 excellent picks because I remember I was not a host on the podcast, I don't think, when you brought Panzer Paladin, so that would have been a pretty old one.
You were not a host for any of these 3. You've
Okay,
unintentionally discovered the theme. They all predate your tenure on IndieQuest.
Ooh.
I thought maybe Hyperlife Drifter was brought, but okay. I knew that Braid wasn't because I forgot that Braid was even on the quest log, to be completely honest with you. So those are specifically the latter 2 are games that have been on my backlog for a long time. But I've also always been interested in Panzer Paladin. So that one's going to be a really tough one for me to choose.
Yeah.
Braids
you'll love
got brought on episode 8. I literally had to do a control F just to make sure it was on there right now. I was like, wait, that is on the quest log? Yeah, like it seems like it should be, but sometimes we miss stuff like that,
It's funny because you can go back in time and look at the quest log and you can see the first maybe year or 2 of the show. I was just digging back into my bag of favorites and pulling out of, I was Sign of Wildhouse, Outer Wilds, Braid, The Witness. I was just throwing them all out there. And then as time goes on, obviously it becomes more like on the pulse, keeping up with games relevant to that year and much less going back to games from the past. That's why we always joke around about all these like kind of tentpole games that aren't on the quest log despite what you would think.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because these days...
Like The Witness, it's not on the quest log.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good point. It's not on the quest log, but and these days it's just harder to find room for that. I'm usually in the opposite situation where I'm spoiled for choice. I'm coming to IndieQuest and I'm picking one of 3 games I played. So
Yeah,
I thought that'd be fun for you to do any of those old ones to give some fresh opinions, and we probably have a ton of listeners that were not around back then that never heard us talk about those games. I don't even remember, Josh, when did we switch from 2 games per episode per person to 1?
I think it was literally like the second or third episode. It was like really quick because we did it and we're like, oh, this is fun. And then like almost everybody's like, you guys like talk about the games for like 3 minutes. Like you're not talking. And they were like, okay. And then it kind of evolved into what we do now where it's like 15 to 20, sometimes longer, per game.
Semi-review. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there was speaking of like choices of indie games, there's a game that you and I both played, and I was like, I'm surprised neither one of us brought it, Lovish, on this episode. I'm surprised
that was
yeah.
I would tell you why I didn't bring Lovish, but I think that would spoil something else IndieQuest related. So there was a decision point that I made
Okay.
to not bring Lovish yet. but
Okay.
that's not saying
Sounds
it's going to
good.
show up.
I have a banger I'm playing that I didn't quite finish, and I was like, all right, what did I play recently? That was this episode. That happens sometimes, so it is what it is. All right, I guess Seth, you can assign me some stuff if you'd like.
I will do that. I've got 4 here, and I don't think you've played any of these, Josh. And
Okay.
I am already doing some reorganizing because I think I would prefer you to play 3 of these over the other one.
Okay.
Just based off of what I remember. So, all right. Number 1, Smushy Come Home. A
Okay.
game that I knew you would like. It was, honestly, both of you would, but it is the coziest 3D platformer. It's a game that is just so Josh coded. I am, if you don't like this game, I would be so surprised. So, and
Yeah,
now,
okay.
if you do play it, don't feel bad if you don't like it. Like, that would make me feel terrible. But
No,
give your honest opinion.
I think I would enjoy it. Yeah, it's one that I honestly think Sar might have played that game. Like I know we own it
Oh,
in one of our Steam libraries.
sick.
So, but yeah, I haven't played it yet. So that's a great choice.
okay. Second one here, and one that I don't think I would have recommended you if we did it the reverse way the last time when Dean picked for us, like which order to go in, or however we figured it out the last time who was picking for who. I don't know that I would have picked this game for you back then, but given more recent situations, I suppose, or experiences that you've had, I'm going to pick Haiku the Robot for you, Josh.
That's the
Because
one
you
that's
are
kind of
now-
like, yeah, like it's kind of like
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight ish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Based off of your recent enjoyment in those types of games, you didn't really used to enjoy the gated exploration type of games, and now you've recently broken through on them, right? So I think that you would very much enjoy that. I mean, you've got more to compare it to now, but I'm pretty confident you would have a good time with it. And the third one here, and honestly, one that I was reminded of by our old pal Steve the other day, and it made me think of it. I had to immediately go and type this. Steve does this thing on, if anybody doesn't go and watch Steve do his Twitch streams, you should. But he's now started to do this thing where he allows his audience to pick games that he can rank on this massive list of his favorite games of all time. Well, he was goofing. We were goofing back and forth, and he was like tossing out games that I should, because I always make it hard on him when I give him games. But
It's usually the hardest ones by far. By far.
so he tossed a game out to me that I had not forgotten about, but like was way back of mind. And as soon as he said it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a game that I need to recommend to Josh as a choice. And that game is Bear's Restaurant.
Okay.
So that's a game that forever I played that game, and I honestly, Josh, I almost want, I mean, you play any of these 3 games, but I would want you to play this game because it is similar to the Moon and things like that. Of course, it's that kind of game. But I just wonder, I played this game very early. It was like one of the first games that I played of that ilk. I really wonder how it compares to that stuff. So I would want to hear your opinion on it. And I also think it's very much up your alley in terms of the feelings types games. You know, you always like those
Get those
kinds of
emotions. Put yourself in the
Yes.
shoes of the main character and feel some feelings. You know, I love that stuff.
Mhm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
All right.
just typed Bear's Restaurant on Google, and the sponsored result says Bear's Restaurant. But if you click on it, it brings you to Delta Force.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening.
Well,
If you
AI
if
will
you go
save
to
us all.
Steam, yeah, right, exactly. If you go to Steam and type in Bear's Restaurant, for anybody at home
Yes.
that is listening along, you'll get right to it. It is developed by Odin Cat, which has become one of my favorite developers. They develop other games like Meg's Monster that we have talked about on here as well, and has actually been brought to a second opinion by Steve too. So, but yeah, there's you 3.
Thank you. Very solid picks, all 3 of them. I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet, but I'll think on it. But maybe I'll play a couple of them. We'll see. We have some time. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
All right, I got Steve's picks. This one was hard because I literally had a list of like 10 games and I had to whittle it down because I'm like, I want Steve to play everything, but it's okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. First off, this one might be an obvious one. It's not Haste. That's actually not on the list, surprisingly. Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom is number one.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's so Steve coded. That is a Steve coded game. There's a lot of collectibles. It's a very unique gameplay style where there's no jump button, so you have to figure out how to ramp this little taxi and kind of like break the physics, which you just mentioned for big hops. It has a lot of that energy. So, yeah.
Imagine if that taxi was a bowling ball, and imagine that there was 10 pins for the taxi to knock
There you
into.
go.
That's a pretty good game right there.
That's literally like I saw this game. I was like, yeah, I think it's doing a lot of the things I want to do with my game too.
That's a great pick because that's one. It falls into the classic trap that a game could fall into. That it seemed really cool, and then the year it came out passed, so Game of the Year's off the table, and it was brought to the show, so I can't bring it here, and so like, not that never means I'll not play a game, but like when I'm choosing a game, I have some obligations I usually want to meet, and this one was forced to a low priority bracket, so this is a good like second chance for it.
Heck yeah. Okay. Got two more. The next one I was thinking was one that Seth and I reviewed for this show, but you were on, you just had a baby, so you weren't here, and it's a great game we both loved, Space for the Unbound. So that's my second selection here. Great game. Yeah.
Honestly, that one, we'll see which of these I pick. That one would be nice for our household because my wife started that game and she got like a quarter of the way through it, maybe. I don't know how long it is. I would wager a guess. And then she just like got distracted by her other hobbies and at this point has not gone back because she's like forgotten parts of the story and she's just distracted by doing other stuff. So she's probably would be grateful for me to dust it off and be like, I'll just play it and you can watch. You could, free your hands for knitting or whatever it is that you want to do. So great pick. And one that I already own, obviously. I have a physical copy, so.
Heck yeah.
I trust my boys. They say a game's good and a Fizz-a-dish comes out. I click purchase.
Heck yeah.
All right. So I had I had a lot of like more obvious picks. I wanted to pick one that I really, really liked, and I just feel like it's hard to convince anybody else to play. So this one's kind of a wild card pick. Tear Down. I just think you might like it, man. I don't know why. I just think you might enjoy it. It's such a weird game, but so it's this physicsy voxel game where you're completing heists by destroying buildings to like make your best route through like a sandbox world, and there's a bunch of like missions you do, and there's like a story mode you go through. It takes about 10 hours to get through it, and I really liked it, and nobody I talk to or anybody I speak to about games that ever mentions this game but me. So yeah.
I remember when you brought this game, Josh, and Steve and I were both like, oh, this is a cool looking little game, like lots of explosions, and then I've never heard of it, and then you go to Steam and it's like 70,000 reviews. It's like how do some of these games just completely pass us by? It's so wild.
Yeah, we are the ones that are out of touch for sure.
Yeah, it's just one of those like I figured you'll probably pick one of the other two, but this one's like the wild card. If you're just feeling a little spicy, there you go.
Beautiful. Those are three great picks for a variety of reasons. I genuinely do not yet know which one I'm going to go with. So
yeah,
I'm excited
there was
for all those.
I had the other one I had in my head that would be way too long. Was that what's that game? In Stars and Time. It's a JRPG though. It's like 25 hours, and I was like, I don't really want to give you a 25-hour second opinion. Really, I'll keep it to the 8 to 10 hour ish range. So yeah.
When you said game that's way too long, Josh, I was like, Minecraft.
I was waiting for it, but I don't think Josh wants to hear me stand up and proclaim side quest opinions about Minecraft. I'm gonna let him have it.
Man, that's taken over our household this last month or so. We've been playing so much Minecraft recently. I'm like, oh, I have all these other games to play. Why am I up here in the middle of the sky making a mob grinder right now in Minecraft? I don't know. We're just doing our thing. We're having a good time.
Yep.
So yep.
I'm loving it for you, man. I remember when my wife. I remember when Leah got into Dance Dance Revolution,
right?
And it was like this is all our household is going to do now, and Minecraft being your game, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's spreading.
Yeah, my partner was like playing by themselves. I was kind of like, it was nice. I was like, couch quarterback, I guess. Them like, okay, this is what you do next. This is what you do next. Okay, here's a couple objectives you can do because the game doesn't really tell you what to do, obviously. And then they started getting into it, and they're like, you know what? What can we turn this into a realm? You can come play with me. And then now we're just in the same, like we got a 2-person realm. We're both playing in there, just building our world together, which is really fun. So yeah. Anyway,
if I were to put you all on the spot, what 1 second opinion game would you assign to me?
Oh, jeez, that is
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I know what I would give
respect
you.
This.
I think I got one for you. I would probably tell you to play Fly Wrench because I think you would really like it. It's like
Yeah, I think I have it.
Yeah, I think you would really enjoy it because you're such a mechanics first type person. Like you love a really good gameplay mechanic, and I think you would enjoy that just because the gameplay is so snappy and fun. So that's the first one that pops into my head.
That sounds good.
Potomax, did you ever play Quamp?
How do you?
Yeah, that's a good one. That one's actually really hard to spell. Yeah, QOMP.
QOMP. I don't think so.
I think that maybe Weedo played that at one point, if I remember right, and maybe that's where I heard about it.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not good at that.
I would recommend that to you. That I'm like, it was like going through the zeros and ones in my head, binary, and I was like, oh, that's it. So yeah, that's the one I'd recommend.
That's tough to know what one to recommend. Did you ever play Leap Year?
Oh,
I did.
I did.
Ah,
yeah, there you go.
I did.
Dang.
Last year. Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I think it was good, but I wasn't all over the moon with it. It felt a bit too simple for my taste.
There is a DLC for that I haven't played, so that's like one of those. I think about going back to this, like a March DLC or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
You know what I would do for your second opinion? I would not try to cater, because I know what a Potomax is into. He wants a cerebral puzzle game, or he wants like an intense arcadey game. He wants something with some meat to it, but he wants it to be like $2 or less, and he wants no one else to have ever heard of it. All right, he wants the most obscure thing you can find. I would go the opposite. I would give you something like Dungeons of Hinterberg, which is basically AAA coded, and I would force you out of your comfort zone to go play like a 20-hour like Zelda game, basically. And so that's what I would give you.
Well, keep an ear out for the Trash Station. Those games might pop up.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Nice
Nice
little crossover.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Scotch buddy, Chris, if you need us to give you each a game, reach out. We'll assign your other host a game too.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do for our show. And speaking of Trash Station, Max, why don't you plug everything that you do online and your game again for us?
Yeah, I have a long list of things. I have my podcast where I talk about a bunch of games I play. The Trash Station with Chris. So the Trash Station where all the podcast things are at. Our latest episode was released yesterday. If you're listening to this episode right now when it releases, I have videos on YouTube at Jeux Bière. It's in French, but I do have English subtitles. There's super interesting. That's not me saying that. That's my co-host right now saying that. You can play The Joy of Poeting on Steam. It's free, and I have other free games on itch.io at potomax.itch.io.
Awesome. We'll also have all your stuff in the description too. So
yeah.
You can keep up with all that. Just look down below. You can find everything that Max does online.
Yeah. If you don't know how to spell Potomax, it's gonna be in the description.
Heck yeah.
I'm sorry,
All right.
Jason. I'm sorry.
Just so you know, Jason, Potomax winked. You can't hear the wink,
Yeah.
but he did.
Yeah. I
he's
winked,
just teasing you. He's just teasing, dude. All right, so that let's plug the show. We thanks for hanging out with us today. You can find us at IndieQuestPod on Blue Sky. You can send us emails IndieQuestPod@gmail.com. You can also find the quest log at IndieQuestPod.com. Steve, where can they find you on the internet?
Potomax.itch.io. Seth, where can they find you?
You can find me at Captain Drachma, and of course in the Polymedia Discord. You can find me at Captain Drachma on Blue Sky. You can also just find me at Captain Drachma. Just look up Captain Drachma, I guess, maybe. And in the Discord, best place on the internet. In order to get in that Discord, head over to Patreon, search up Polymedia, get into the tier that gets you in that Discord. Josh, where can I find you?
You can find me, Josh Leslie, on Blue Sky. I almost said Twitter. Oh my God, what is this? 5 years ago. I also do a podcast with Max's co-host Chris called The Monthly Mishap, where we talk about all the movies that we've been watching and we recommend stuff to each other, and it's a good time. It's monthly, obviously. It's in the title, so go check that out. And then also, speaking of Polymedia Network, we are a part of the network. So if you want to find any of the other podcasts out there, nostalgia movies, video games, go to polymedianetwork.com. And Max, why don't you close us out today with some
thank you
good
for
party
having me.
words
I
for our
hope
listeners?
you're having fun playing random games, random indie games, and please just have in your heart the joy of putting.
Nice.
Penis hole.